while we wait for Taylor and maybe Andy.
No, Andy's busy tonight. He's got shit going on. He's really beat. He moved and got a lot going on. So
Oh.
no worries there. No worries. But
Hmm.
yeah, everybody, this is the pre-show where we talk about what we're gonna do on the show.
The pre-show.
Yeah, not a whole lot. Um, Mostly New York Comic Con shit that was left over. You know what I mean?
The
So we'll
scraps.
see how that goes. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
The scraps, because I haven't followed anything from New York Comic Con in like 2 weeks.
Oh well, I mean, we covered a whole lot of it
We
on an
did cover a
episode.
lot of it. It's
Mhm.
not on the forefront of my mind right
Yeah.
now.
Hey, thanks, Brandon, for the like. I wish you'd hang out more often. Brandon
Yes,
Wood
hang out
giving
with
us the
us.
like. He likes the show like every time he sees it, but he don't get
Yeah,
in the chat.
we
And it's
appreciate
okay.
that. We do appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, we got some Star Trek, a lot of Star Trek actually today, and then just a bunch of like Marvel quick hits, mostly X-Men shit. Um, and yeah,
So,
and then Loki. You caught up on Loki?
no, actually, I think I'm going to wait till Loki's done and then watch it in one setting,
Okay, little
like I did with
experiment there.
Secret Invasion.
Sure. Secret Invasion was a lot slower than this.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying watching
but
Loki week to week.
Secret Invasion kind of turned out better as a watch
I
in the
agree.
long
Oh
run.
yeah. I bet it did. I bet it did. But yeah, we'll talk Loki, food news. We have a moment of
Um,
destruction with the news and the reviews, and
and
then
I know
top
the
three.
big news is that Matthew Perry died, but
Yeah, we're not covering that. He was
24
not comic
hours
book
before,
related.
a day before he died, Richard Mole died,
Yeah,
and
he
he was
actually is comic related. Do you
he
all know
is.
why?
I
I
do.
know David does. Hold on. I can tell David does. Taylor, do you know why?
I don't know the name at all, I'm afraid.
He was on a show called Night Court back in the day. He was the big, tall, bald bailiff. But go ahead, Dave.
Oh, okay. Actually, no, I saw this in the
You
news
picture.
earlier. He was the voice of Harvey Dent.
He
It's
was
right.
yes,
He was
that's
Two
right. He
Okay.
Face
was the
Harvey
voice of
Dent.
Harvey
Did an
Dent.
amazing job.
He
I
did.
mean, Harvey was one of the most sympathetic characters on that. I don't think without Batman, the animated series, you don't get that Nolan version of Two Face. You know what I mean? Just not quite. Just not quite
Kevin
that version.
Conroy and Mark Hamill kind of like hog the spotlight when it comes to
Oh,
the.
yes.
That sounds more negative than I mean it because, there's such iconic turns of the character that tend to get a lot of the attention.
Yeah.
But across the board, that show had such an astounding
It
voice
was
cast. Like
insane. Dude.
Harley and Two-Face, all of them are kind of the definitive voices. Like when I read those comic
That
books,
too,
it's their voices that I hear. Yeah.
Yep, me too, man. Me too. So yeah, that was kind of a big loss. Yeah. Matthew Perry, again, big loss. Died way too young, had a drug problem.
It
That
was certainly a
happens.
surprise.
Was it a drug problem?
I
Was
don't
it
know
He
if-
had a heart
drug-related?
condition that
I
was
don't.
made worse by a drug problem.
I don't know that that's the reason why, and I think it's reckless to speculate.
Oh
at the
no, you're
moment.
right. You're right. You're
But
right.
Because
it is
I
true
knew
that in the past he did. But
Yes.
I
all the
knew
same,
that
I mean, he was
he
only
became
in
a
his
big
50s,
advocate for sobriety and stuff, but I don't think that his
Yes.
heart attack was necessarily, or his death in the jacuzzi was necessarily drug
The
related.
truth is, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
me
just,
neither. Me
it's
neither.
it's
And it's
tasteless to
just-
speculate when we don't
You're
know.
absolutely right, Taylor. I apologize. You're absolutely right. I shouldn't be such. Well, it's hard for me though not to be a douchebag.
You are a piece of shit. It is true.
Yeah. So that's the news. That's what we're gonna start. That's what we're gonna talk about this week. Is there anything else that we? Nah, I think we're good. I got a new intro.
Oh,
I got two new ones. One for tonight and
Ooh.
one for, let's do it.
well,
Let's do
don't
it.
keep.
Don't keep.
Well, we're going live commentary here.
Your suffering will be legendary.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Just whenever we do this.
Couldn't tell at a glance if that was going to be that or we have such sights to show you.
Well, we ain't got shit to show you. Okay? You're gonna put up with the episode just like everybody else.
His expectations more accurately. This does suck.
Greetings, geeks. Welcome back. It's another episode of This Geek and Comics Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
Homer Taylor, aka David. Segment 1, where we talk about what we did this week. I wanted to talk about Lower Decks, the latest episode of season 4. Just continues. It's so amazingly good. The name of the episode first, The Inner Fight. I mean, just
Yeah, I mean,
Did you watch the episode, Taylor? This
I
week?
haven't watched it, but
Okay.
of course I
I'm-
understand the reference in the title, which it's
I get
pretty
the reference,
impressive
too.
that you can get like, oh, I see what you did there with a fucking episode
With a title, yeah.
Yeah.
And it is all about like the personal trauma of Mariner, who's one of the main characters. Their
Mariner
mission is to
has
go
been
pick
around
up.
like the Star Trek universe in so many different ways.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's the whole premise of the show, right? It's the people next to the people, like who are like doing.
Well,
all
Oh
the-
yeah, their
I
ship
didn't
is
know. I didn't know she was in the Dominion War on Deep Space Nine. Apparently,
That's
yeah.
in like I remember that. I think that was in season 1 when it's like
Yes.
they're trying to stall and it's like just pan around, just like
Yeah.
make slow, graceful arcs around Deep Space Nine. They
Yes.
won't question it.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean,
Yeah.
their ship, the Cerritos, I mean, their primary mission is second contact. So that's all you need to know. But yeah, she gets into a friend of hers who had passed away on a mission, and they kind of get into it, allude to it, and then they finally tell you who it is, and it was so great. But that all like revolves around Robert Duncan McNeil, famous for portraying Lieutenant Paris on Voyager, having a cameo on this, but not as Paris, as Nick Locarno.
the
Okay,
character from the first squad, the Wesley
yeah,
episode.
he was from a TNG episode where Wesley had like a team of pilots who did dangerous shit, and he got somebody killed, right? So her friend ended up being Ensign Cito, who was also on that crew, but had this amazing TNG episode where she goes on a secret mission with a Cardassian to do some, crazy spy shit and ends up dying. And that's what she's talking about, the trauma that Cito, her friend, passed away, and then dealing, with the ensuing trying times that she had during the Dominion War. It was just a really poignant episode, like most Star Trek is. It deals with that sort of shit, but it
Those
did
are
it in
some
a way where it
great
pulled all
pulls,
these cool
yeah.
Easter eggs, man. Yeah, it's wild, dude. Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, at any time there's a Star Trek show, I say it's my favorite one.
Yeah, but it's a good. It's really nice that we get like such great storytelling from
yeah,
an animated
I mean,
series.
We say all the time nowadays, like what a time to be a Star Trek fan.
Oh man,
like
We're gonna
we've
talk more
never
about
had such a glut of content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to explain. What's the other one? The one that the lower decks crossed over with?
Prodigy.
No, it crossed over with Strange New Worlds.
Oh, that's
Strange
right.
New
That's
Worlds.
right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I had to explain Strange New Worlds to my mom and dad.
That's
Well,
the most straightforward one there is. That's just
Yeah,
Star
it really
Trek.
is.
I know,
It's-
but my
There's
dad.
not even a gimmick to that one. It's just Star Trek.
My dad.
And
My
that's
dad
the
is
point
not
of
a
it. That's
Star
like the
Trek
point of
fan.
it. to Not have a gimmick. Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
dad is not a Star Trek fan, and he was like, "Where does this fit in? Why is this before or after Kirk and all that?" I'm like, "This
It's
is definitely before
It's
Kirk."
got
the only
young
one that's
Kirk on
before.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it has Kirk and Spock and Uhura and Nurse Chapel and all these motherfuckers on it.
yeah,
You know?
but he doesn't follow Star Trek, so
Yeah.
it's difficult.
I
sometimes.
am adoring everything Star Trek is doing. A lot of people are hating it. But anybody else do anything
I mean,
cool? Oh, go
Star
ahead.
Trek
please.
fans are not as bad as Star Wars fans.
Oh, no.
There
it's
is
a
the
war.
contingent of Trek fans who they just love to shit on everything.
I think that
you
is what it is, man. Or they never really watched Star Trek.
I mean,
I
We
don't
are in
know.
a lot of geek circles, and a lot of geek circles, there is a segment of those circles where just nothing is ever good enough.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that there's never like legitimate criticism to be made,
Exactly.
but there's also people it doesn't matter if it's fucking perfect.
People
will
were
hate
shitting on the
it.
last season of Picard, and I was
Yeah,
like, "What?
Ridiculous.
If you're not a fan of the Next Generation, why are you even watching Picard?"
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a fan of
it
the
is
Next
fan
Generation.
service, but
Then
it
what
is
are you talking
excellent
about?
fan service.
Dude, that's what it's supposed to be. It's also even half of Lower Decks is fan service.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
just so many Easter eggs in Picard.
Picard is a show for TNG, like old, fanboys like myself.
Yeah.
And Lower Decks is just, it's kind
It's
of like
for
a
me.
spoof in some ways, but yeah, it's fun.
It's
it's-
for me, dude.
it's-
Yeah.
But they also have episodes like it sounds like Inner Fight was, where like it knows when to take itself seriously, while still,
Yes.
mostly just being about, fun.
Yeah. And I mean, you can't tell me that you watched TNG and didn't enjoy the fun of episodes like A Fistful of Datas. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, TNG had all sorts of goofy ass episodes.
It had so much goofy shit.
That's part of the experience.
Yeah. I mean, Voyager turned the captain into a fucking lizard at one point.
For
okay?
everything, you have like the measure of a man. You also have like your fistful of datas. You also have
Yeah.
The
Data
holodeck,
takes on fucking Moriarty.
the
Yeah,
holodeck, Merry Men.
Yeah,
The hol-
exactly.
yes.
It wasn't even holodeck. That was Q shit. That
There's
was Q
occasionally like I
shenanigans.
can't remember whether it was holodeck shenanigans
or
or
Q
Q
shit. Yeah,
shenanigans.
right.
There's a lot of like kind of similar energy there.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, well,
go
I know
ahead.
it's not Next Generation related, but my favorite line from like almost all of Star Trek is when Cisco hits like Q, and he's like, "Picard would never punch me."
I'm not Picard. Yeah, that's even more poignant with the first episode of that, where him and Picard kind of get into it a little bit. Like Picard gets called out on his Borg shenanigans, that just cemented, Cisco to me as, oh, this dude, he's a badass. He's gonna
Yeah.
do
Oh,
shit
yeah.
a little bit
Even though
different.
that isn't Picard's fault in any way, shape, or form.
Oh no, of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not.
But no,
My
I
favorite
get it.
part of that is that Picard still feels guilty.
He does.
about it,
Well, and
you
there's
know?
still callbacks to that because in Picard
Yes.
season 3,
It's very well done because like
Yeah.
it's not Picard's fault, and we know that. But I also completely understand why Cisco would never see it that way.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
he was on the
Yeah.
receiving end of it, and he does not have a pity well to draw from there.
Yep. Yeah, he's not watched 3 seasons of TNG before Wolf 359 to
He totally
really
should.
get to like the guy. Yeah. Anybody else do anything fun this week they want to mention? Anything?
just watching a bunch of like old classic Hammer horror films.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
Fun.
I tried to
old
put together
school.
my cheap ass Halloween costume that I always try to go for like a really low rent type of thing.
Nice. A raisin. You could wear a garbage bag and you're a raisin.
No. Well, I
Not
bought
that
I bought a prop meat cleaver. I'm going to but I have like an apron and I have like a shirt I can put like blood splatter on. So yeah,
There
that's
you
my
go.
costume.
There you go.
Hey Dave, which Hammer films did you say? Hammer or Universal?
Hammer.
Oh, okay.
Hammer.
Last night I watched
Getting more
the
gothic.
Horror of Dracula, and
Nice.
tonight after the podcast, I'm probably going to watch Dracula Rises from the Grave.
Are those is one of those the Dracula with like the powdered wig Dracula? You know what I mean?
They're
I
both
think
the
it
Dracula
is.
with as Christopher Lee.
Okay.
Yeah, I
okay.
think that's the powdered wig one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, doth where thou gone, Dracula, bloodsucker.
I noticed
That's
that
good
like
news.
when I noticed in like the Horror of Dracula, like even if they were filming on a set, that set must have been like freezing cold because when they're talking, there's like the frost of the breath is coming off.
wow.
Them. So
That's cool.
I don't
I
think
heard
it comes
they
off
had the same problem on the Lord of the Rings set.
Mm.
Just playing. Let's do it. Starting. Oh, we're staying with Star Trek, and then we got a bunch of Marvel quick hits we got to get to. All right, so they have announced in January 24 they're going to do Star Trek Defiant Annual. It's going to star Tasha Yar, who's time traveling, along with her parallel dimensional half human, half Romulan daughter, Commander Sayla, who has also been hanging out in the series.
Oh, that's a good pull.
Oh, yeah, pretty good.
That's going to be an interesting dynamic considering that Sayla is the one that got her killed.
Oh, yeah. I'm expecting tears by the end of it. I'm serious.
As much as like timeline hopping and like interdimensional travel as Tasha Yar does, I wonder if she ever like goes into the same circle as like Wesley Crusher, when he's hanging out with like.
Oh, yeah, when
travelers,
he's doing that shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, who knows? They're also going to do Ryan North, the current Fantastic Four writer, is going to team up again with Chris Finaglio, to do a Star Trek Lower Decks Warp Your Own Way, is what it's called. But it's a 182-page graphic novel that's interactive. So basically, it's choose your own Lower Decks adventure.
Ryan North has a big precedent for that. He actually wrote a book called Romeo and or Juliet, where it was a choose your own adventure for Romeo and Juliet, and you can like get them to a happy ending. And it's actually pretty easy to get them to a happy ending because
it's like the easiest ending. I've read that.
Yeah.
It's like the easiest ending. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that is
yeah,
a
he
dope book.
has a lot of fun and a lot of experience with that sort of shit. So that should be really good.
Yeah, he did a Lower Decks. No, he did that Shaxx book as part of the Day of Blood. Shaxx Best Day.
Best Day.
Oh, it was beautiful.
That
So
guy
well done.
lives to eject warp cores.
Oh yeah, dude, that's his thing. Eject the warp core, baby. But the big news that we actually that we actually have content for, they're doing a book called Sons of Star Trek, Morgan Hampton, Angel Hernandez, and Nick Filardi. That's going to focus on the children of Star Trek, but not Commander Sela. It's going to be Jake, Nog, Alexander, and Q2 from a very fun couple episodes of Voyager. And they're dubbing them the Nepo babies of Star Trek. That's kind of weak. That's kind of weird. So in the aftermath of Day of Blood, Jake struggles to find his new place in the universe now that his family has been reunited with his father. Has once again saved the galaxy, whatever. Alexander Roshenko is still recovering mentally and emotionally from his time with Kalis, which is really interesting. It was cool because Worf and Sisko really played off each other well in that event. So Worf was able to break him away from the path. Alexander's still haunted by his actions during the coup and is unsure of his ability to atone. So Jake and Alexander find their stories intertwined as they're thrust into an alternate universe, always an alternate universe, where they followed their father's footsteps into Starfleet. So instead of being a writer and being, a traitor to the Empire, they go into Starfleet.
That is kind of actually really amazing because they weren't following. Yeah, like you said, they weren't following in their father's footsteps.
Yeah, they were doing completely different shit,
they
almost against their father, like in a.
Because I remember that episode where
rebel.
Sisko got time trapped and he could quantum leap at certain points, and
yeah, that was a fun episode.
Basically his father like gave him like the riot act because he wasted his life just to try to get him back.
That was the one with what's his name, who played Candyman and Kern. What's his name? There's a lot of voice actors.
Oh, Tony Todd.
Yeah, Tony Todd played old Jake Sisko in that. He's amazing. He is.
Oh, Tony Todd's good in everything.
Oh my! Even though his voiceover stuff might be his best stuff, and
the man has a voice like silk.
He was Scareglow in the He-Man's Revelations.
Yeah, dude.
And he's going to be Scareglow in Revolutions.
Yeah. Now, I will say this though about the concept. I worry we might be straying. We might be making too much of a reach here. Where like this is an alternate universe, sons of characters.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I mean,
the only person missing from this lineup is Jack Crusher.
Yeah.
Nah, he's off. I think that. Well, I don't know how the timeline will
continuity.
Work
well, it's alternate timeline. So what the fuck does that matter?
Sure. But even in line with our timeline, Jack Crusher's probably not old enough.
He'd be hanging out with Beverly Crusher, and that is true. That he is significantly younger than all the characters we would see here.
Yeah.
He would have been conceived at the end of after the end of TNG.
Yes.
So
agreed.
Yeah.
And that would have been Enterprise E. Way in the movies. Way in.
I mean, it's far be it for me to question what they're doing because all the Star Trek stuff they've been doing has been really knocking it out of the park. But I worry this might be
almost too much.
Maybe a bridge too far. That like. We're getting the sons of characters that we care about, and it's not even continuity.
Yeah. Now I give a lot of fucks about Nog, right? I love Nog. So seeing more of him in action, is great. Q2 was interesting. Actually played by John Delancey's actual real life son. The actor who played Q. Q2 was actually played by his son. Wonderful move there. But they're going to be. This is my favorite part of the whole story. They're going to. They're officers aboard the USS Burton, which is definitely a nod to LeVar Burton, who played, Geordi LaForge. Definitely a nod to him. So
too much to be a coincidence, yeah.
Too much. All right, now we got just a bunch of Marvel quick hits. Dead X-Men #1. We knew it was going to happen. All those X-Men that died at the gala are now somehow going to come back. It's written by it's a 4-issue mini, Steve Fox. It's got a lot of artists on it. Karutu, Bernard Chang, Jonas Scharf. This is out January 31st. This will revisit the key moments in reality's past that paved the way to Krakoa as a team of fallen mutants are sent through history by Professor X on a mission to reverse Krakoa's fate.
This seems almost exactly like the Jean Grey book that's coming out right now.
Dude, right? Jean Grey is basically trying to do that same thing.
It's just her own personal timeline, I guess.
So quantum leaping now?
I don't know if they're quantum leaping
I don't know.
Or I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Not
much on the news for this one.
The premise here is whatever, but it does seem to confirm that we're not getting resurrection protocols back.
Mm-hmm.
If these guys aren't just being revived.
Mm-hmm. I mean, 100% there, but I mean, it's another 4-issue miniseries of the X books. This just leans into my Fall of X. Like, this is ruining the Fall of X. All of these books coming out. I'm just not going to buy them. I'm just not going to get them.
Man, Gomer, you just gotta whittle down the list, man. You can't be. That's true of anything, right? You
I
can't get
know.
every book that comes out.
Oh, dude. So many spiders, so many Batman, so many Superman now. Now, X-Men. X-Men have always had a lot of books, but geez, man,
They
it's
have, but
incredible.
this seems overwhelming. I
It's
mean, this happened
incredible.
like when Krakoa was like just hitting its stride, though, right? Because like eventually, when we're getting into like X Corp and like
Oh my God! Remember how I loved X Corp? I reread that. I don't know, a week or so ago. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't that. It was okay. It
yeah,
had some
like
good ideas, but yeah, they didn't pull it
I
off.
would not want to work for
they
M.
just diluted it a
Yeah.
little too much, you know.
Yeah, M had a great moment this week. I think we'll talk about later, with Quicksilver. But all right, moving on. Alien gets a Marvel Comics black, white, and red treatment. This genius. Okay, there's
I mean, that's low hanging fruit, of course.
yeah, low hanging fruit. There's 3 different stories here that we need to talk about because each issue has like, 3 different small stories. We had one this week with the Marvel Zombies book. It was okay. The Daredevil book was the best drawn, but I didn't understand what Ennis was really trying to do there. Anyway, so in the first story, Colin Kelly, Jackson Lanzig, arguably the best writers of the year so far, and Michael Dowling are going to kick off Utopia, a generation-spanning saga that will be told across all 4 issues. Soaring through space to find a perfect world, a society descends into darkness as they're shaped by their fear of xenomorphs. So there may not even be any xenomorphs in this story.
Well, hey, a good horror movie understands that, the anticipation is worse than the moment itself.
Yes,
You know,
that's right. That's right. In the second book, Ryan Cady and newcomer Delvmalia Pramanik, I'm probably messing that name all up, explore the limits of compassion in maternal instincts on a deep space vessel. A small child is the sole survivor of a xenomorph slaughter, and her only hope for salvation is the ship's comforting and guiding AI computer unit. It feels like they've already done that, but there was a Jeff Lemire book at TKO
That was
that was
sentient.
sentient. That was kind of like that, kind of like that. So I'm anxious to read that one. Sort of a lone wolf and cub with a twist in the alien universe.
I do
It's got
appreciate
potential.
that these don't just sound like every one of them is like, how is the xenomorph stalking people in this, story?
Oh yeah, exactly. So the final one, and this is the most intriguing one, just because of the last line. Stephanie Phillips, who did the Capwolf and Cosmic Ghost Rider, how Capwolf was dope, and Marcela Ferreira, deliver a tale of guts, glory, and the most exhilarating of games in The Hunt. Here's where it gets hairy. Xenomorphs become the main attraction when Wayland Yutani gives wealthy thrill seekers a chance to hunt down the galaxy's deadliest species.
So this is
I
this is
love it.
basically like a Jurassic Park big game.
Well, I don't know if it's Jurassic Park. Well, I mean, I guess
But
it is.
I
Yeah.
can't think.
I mean, honestly, this sounds like the premise of the Aliens Colonial Marines game that was such a dog shit thing from a few
Well,
years back.
Oh, they
I-
had that.
It was
they kind of
bad.
did, yeah. That last story does kind of harken back.
It's the name of the game.
Does kind of
Whatever.
harken back to maybe a Dark Horse series.
Oh, where Wayland Yutani was.
It wasn't
renting out
necessarily
hunting
Wayland
the
Yutani.
xenomorphs.
It wasn't necessarily a Wayland Yutani.
And whenever some like stupid plan is being funded in the Alien universe, I always assume it's Wayland Yutani. You know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
but in the Dark Horse one, there were a lot of other organizations and groups
Oh, okay.
that were involved in it, because there was like a whole it was like alien genocide or something, where it turned out like the royal jelly from the Queen turned out to be an addictive drug.
Oh, rad. Okay, that's cool.
But
Yeah, I
they
never
had-
got into that Dark Horse stuff.
Yeah, there are shades of that in there, but I can't think of the book.
Yeah.
There were a lot of alien books.
That's
in
out
Dark Horse.
February. That's out February 7th. Yeah.
Right.
All right, next, Cable. All right, Cable number 1 of 4 is out January 17th. It's art by Scott Eaton and written by Fabian Chiesa. I think that's how
That's
you
a
pronounce
name I
his
haven't
name.
heard in a while.
I know. The reason this is so important to me is 2 reasons. Fabian wrote my favorite run of Cable of all time, Cable and Deadpool in the 2000s. I love that book. I go back to it often. But Cable is going to be hunting Orcus, yes, but also some new thing called the Neocracy. We don't know what that is. But he's teaming up with, wait for it, his younger self. Young
X-Men?
Cable is coming back. Yes.
X-Men or Young Cable?
Young Cable, who just died like last year. Remember that? He just died. Like that
So
was
it's
like
not
the
Nate
first
Summers.
thing Orcus did was like murder Cable.
Okay.
Young Cable.
Not Nate Summers from like Age of
No.
Apocalypse? Okay.
No. His younger self, who was around earlier in Marvel. But I loved Young Cable.
Yeah,
I thought
Team
Young
Cable, who was in the Sword book, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved Young Cable.
Man, there's so many fucking Nate Grays out there.
I know, there really are, dude. I mean, isn't that how his story started though? With what the hell's that dude's name? His first villain in the
Holocaust?
No, I don't think it was Holocaust. But it was like a
Correct me if
clone
I'm wrong. The first version of the character was Cable from the X-Force book, right?
Yes.
Or was it Nate Gray? Was it X-Man from Age of Apocalypse? I actually
No,
forget
I
which
don't
one
think
of
it
those
was
came first.
X-Man. I don't think it was X-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I
there
love how
are
like
a
you can say
lot
like, no, I
of
mean the
versions.
younger teenage Nate Gray, and you're like, which one?
Yeah.
You know?
When you say Cable, you have to like let everybody know which Cable you're talking about, you know. Okay, Ultimate Spider-Man news. This is on sale January 10th. Hickman, Chichetto's doing the art, but Peter and Mary Jane Watson are married when Peter gets bitten by the spider and becomes a hero. Hickman quote, when we decided that we were going to do a book about an older Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man, we really wanted to lean into him starting his superhero life from a different place than what's traditionally expected.
Oh, so he's already a dad when he becomes Spider-Man.
Yes.
Mm.
So
That's
he
interesting.
it's so interesting. There is so much ground to cover here, right? Peter immediately, okay, there's two things that can happen because historically, Peter doesn't want to tell people that he's Spider Man to protect them, okay? Now, I could see him doing that here, but it's going to be really hard to be going out web swinging when you got an old lady and got to make lunch in the morning for your
Yeah.
kids. You know what I mean?
We might
So,
also get like an interesting parallel where like originally, you know, he wanted to go out and just use the spider powers to like benefit himself and his family. In
right.
that case, it was Aunt May and Uncle Ben. But here, like, does he do the same thing? Only this time it's MJ and the kids, you know, that he
Yeah.
wants to.
And is there a possibility that Uncle Ben is still alive?
I mean, that's this
I
a
mean,
thing.
Uncle
Is there
Ben could
another?
never long for this world. So, like, if that is the
Yeah.
case, we might just
Yeah.
get like the rhyming pattern there where, like, you know, Uncle Ben dies and he becomes Spider-Man at the end. I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, is there another angle there where someone else passes away besides Uncle Ben to turn Peter onto the road to right? Or
Could be. I mean,
or
an obvious.
is it MJ?
Yeah, it could be one of his family members pictured here. You know,
I mean, there are so many
you could do.
opportunities for
Are they
storytelling.
doing not just Dad Spider-Man, but single Dad Spider-Man?
Oh shit! That'd be great.
I mean,
They're
Jonathan
gonna kill
Hickman's
MJ
right.
in the first issue.
Man,
Oh no!
I hope not, because that
Me
would just
too.
bum me out. But
I
like,
think Hickman's smarter than that, dude.
Jonathan Hickman's writing it. I was going to read it anyway, so yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not reading it from this news. You know,
Yeah, I am stoked, man. This is going to be really different and really unique, and that's what the Ultimate Universe should be. That was a big problem a lot of people had with the Ultimate Universe, even the Spider-Man book, that it was almost too same-ish. And then Bendis leaned into Miles Morales, and we got new.
Okay, so Ultimate Spider-Man was far and away the most successful Ultimate book. It broke the record set by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby for like
For
most, longest run for a writer-artist duo.
Yeah.
But it was the one that was probably the closest to the actual like 616 Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was kind of easy to do.
I mean, Ultimates and Ultimate X-Men, they both just kind of kept painting themselves into corners because they kept just doing the, oh man, I bet you didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
No, I didn't, because now you have nothing to write about moving
Exactly.
forward.
Of course I didn't see that coming. That was a dumb idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I trust that we keep saying this about the new Ultimate Universe here. Like, the old Ultimate Universe it went away for a reason. You know,
right, right.
But it is a good premise. It is the chance, like, let's do something that we could never do in the main continuity. But the problem with the original run was they kept interpreting that as, let's do the shittiest thing we can do. Let's do the shock value thing that is well, yeah, shocking for like 5 seconds, but then
Let's
it leaves
do the
you
most
nowhere to go.
extreme thing we can
Yeah,
do.
let's make
That's really
Scarlet
what the
Witch and
X-Men.
Quicksilver have an incestuous relationship.
That's
Let's make
what broke
Captain
the
America a
X-Men look.
racist. Let's do all these
Yes.
shitty things. Let's make all the Avengers just awful people. Let's make the Hulk like a raging rapist, you know?
Yeah, dude. Only Alan Moore can do that. Okay.
Mm.
No one else can pull that off in comics and get away with it. Only Alan Moore.
So yeah, this is the chance to take what is an interesting premise and do it better. And yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely trust
Or
Jonathan Hickman to do that.
differently. You know,
Well,
everyone's still bitching about one more day. You know,
Well, that's fair enough, but I'm
this
just saying, like,
helps.
do it better than the original Ultimate run, I guess is what I should
Yeah,
say.
100%. So yeah, we'll have more on that. Last quick hit. All right, Magic the Gathering, Marvel. Not a big thing. We don't have any cards. Okay.
No, we don't.
But Hasbro has confirmed, because Dave and I were talking about this. It's a multi-year, multi-set deal. So this isn't like a one-off drop like Universes Beyond and like Fallout
It
and
is
Jurassic Park.
Universes Beyond. It's going to be,
No.
but it's going to be like you said, multi-year.
Yes, yeah, like the previously announced. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like the previously announced Universe Beyond sets, Fallout and Jurassic Park, those are just minor releases.
Yeah, but the thing is that they do continue Universes Beyond with the special drops.
Yes, yeah, that's going to continue, but they're saying they are saying that this might be their biggest third-party release ever. Like, you'll be able to play Magic the Gathering Marvel. You know what I mean? Just those. You'll be able to have full-on Marvel comic style action and fights and powers and things and strategy in Magic the Gathering. And to me, that is so fucking exciting, dude.
This is probably a richer intellectual property than they've been using before. I mean, as much as I love Dungeons and Dragons, the like quote unquote lore of D&D is fucking nothing compared to Marvel, you know?
Oh, 100%. Not to say that D&D doesn't have good lore.
It does, but like, how many people on the street know who like fucking like Drist is compared to how many people who know who Spider-Man is, you know?
Dude. The mechanics for this are going to be off the charts. There's going to be so many fun combinations. Yeah, we're going to see full-on tournaments, just Marvel cards. You know what I'm saying? And that's just really cool. I'm hoping that
the price point is going to be absolutely astronomically high.
Oh, it's going to be huge, dude. It's going to be huge.
You can either have money or you can play Magic the Gathering. That's the way it's always been.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah. I'll probably find it on Arena. Arena will have free sets, you know, that people will be able to play.
Do they have Universes Beyond on Arena?
I think they do, but I'm not sure. I haven't played in so long. I would probably have a 2-hour update if I started it up right now. Yeah. All right, Loki. We missed an episode, so it's episode 3, 1893, and episode
3 and 4 kind of do serve as a little like a
they did
duology here. That's not the word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, man, Miss Minutes and Renslayer go to Chicago to give a TVA guidebook to a young Timely, who's a variant of He Who Remains, who informed Miss Minutes about this plan before his death. So then they travel to 1893 at the Chicago World's Fair. Can I just say the set for the Chicago World's Fair was fucking amazing. It was a brilliant set, dude.
That was a whole lot of fun. And like you can see where like the practical like set building was going into play and like just like playing around with all the like the imagery, right, of like a early 19th century, like late 19th century, early 20th century time, like, you know, Chicago. And also, you know, props to Jonathan Majors because, like, you know, once again, he has done a completely different version of this same character, you know?
Yeah, he's stuttering in there and stuff. I've actually heard some people complaining about his stuttering. Like
He Who Remains is so different from Kang, who is so different from Victor here, you know?
Oh, yeah, 100%. He's a great actor, period. He's a great actor. Loki and Mobius arrive tracking Renslayer's tempad. He's showing off his temporal loom prototype. So then he's got like 4 groups of people chasing him. Loki and Mobius, who want to use his aura to fix the loom. Renslayer and Miss Minutes, who want to take his variant's place with them at his side. Sylvie, who wants to kill him. And a robber baron who just wants his money. So Timely escapes.
No really H.H. Holmes in this?
Yeah, right.
There were a ton of moving pieces in that episode, and it
There
was
really
a lot
were.
of fun.
So it really comes down to Sylvie wanting to murder this guy, and she turns the other cheek. You know, it really
Yeah.
was a cool character moment.
That
for me in
was because like she found herself like where the tables had really turned, you know?
Mhm.
Like her whole life is defined by the TVA chasing her down because of like she didn't quote unquote make the right choice, you know? Because
Yeah.
like not because of what she did, but because she like could do. And then she
Right.
found herself in the exact same position, you know? Was she really going to kill this variant who hadn't done anything because of what he could do?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a
But
really cool moment.
it was. But then, and we're not sure why, but I think after episode 4's reveal, we do know why. Sylvie has information about Renslayer that we did not. Sylvie is the one who sends Renslayer and Miss Minutes to the end of all time, where he who remains, corpse.
And that was a really cool shot there with like just
It was a great shot.
his decaying corpse there in the chair.
Yeah.
You know?
It also appeared that Miss Minutes had ulterior motives too. She's basically in love with her creator. That was weird to me, you know. But then in the next episode, episode 4, which this is a mind-blowing episode. Miss Minutes reveals that in the past, Renslayer commanded He Who Remains army. He proposed that Renslayer lead the TVA with him, and then had Miss Minutes erase her memories. So why else would Sylvie send them there specifically, right?
Yeah.
Why would she do that? She has to have known what Miss Minutes was going to tell her. She has, right? I mean, there are a lot of questions. In the chat, Nathan, Miss Minutes needs some counseling. Dude, Miss Minutes off the chain, dude. Yeah. Here, I'll go to watch this, Nathan. And thanks for hanging out. This scene right here is the one that got me, man. With Renslayer and Miss Minutes killing all these folks in the damn Brad machine. That's what I'm going to call it. I don't remember what they called it.
I don't remember either, but Brad
Murdered
Machine is
all
kind of
these
fun.
folks for not, joining them to go help, right? While all this shit is happening, the temporal loom is reaching catastrophic failure. Brad does choose Renslayer's side and goes to try to, and does succeed, I guess, in stopping, at least to an extent, Timely from doing his thing. Kills his bodyguard as
Yeah,
his protector.
didn't pan out the way that they wanted, but yeah, they did. Did enough to fuck everything up for everyone.
And then there's a moment where Ouroboros still, I love that guy, Kwei Hong Kong, amazing. But
yeah, he's such a
he's
MVP for this season.
Yeah,
so
I love anytime he shows up in the damn show. But then there's a moment, and I had to rewind this shit. I thought I missed something. But there's a moment where Sylvie is on the elevator, and Loki just starts melting away. He gets zapped, just time zapped. And it turns out he's getting time zapped by another Loki.
Yeah.
Mind blowing. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, and we have no idea. Like, whatever is going on, we don't know yet, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know what's going on. It ends with everything appearing to, turn out for the best. The plan that they have planned, is set out into motion. Victor puts his head in the machine. The door's unlocked. He decides to get suited up to take this thing to the temporal loom to fix everything. But all of this radiation, temporal radiation, just spaghettifies another Kang. Damn, another Kang.
Good timing on the pause, whoever came up with this image here. Wow.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I didn't count his rib cage for the first
That's
time.
me, dude. That's me who came up with that.
Well
I'm stealing all those screenshots. But yeah, he's reduced to nothing. The Loom's increased temporal radiation spaghettifies him, and then the temporal loom fucking explodes, and we don't know what the hell is happening now. It looks like the whole TVA, perhaps all of existence itself, is just gone.
Yeah, that is a hell of a cliffhanger.
It was, yeah, dude. It was a wild fucking ride. And I think you're right. Episode 3 and 4 probably do work a lot better together, like in tandem. But yeah, the master of ramen noodles. That's a good one, Nathan. But yeah, dude, it's a fantastic show. I'm not really sure what else I can say about it because again, they did leave us on such a weird cliffhanger. Like I don't know. There's absolutely no way to predict what's going to happen next.
No, I mean we don't have complete information. I think this will be interesting to watch, like especially go back and watch episode 4 after we have like 5 and 6, and like kind of see how all of this ultimately fits together. Because
Yeah,
yeah,
because
we got quite a little puzzle box with all like the time travel shenanigans going on.
yeah, and I'm sure next episode, this Loki that ended up murdering the Loki that we've been following for 2 seasons. I know that's weird to say, but we'll find out what exactly happened there. And like, why is he murdering another his variant? Why is he doing that? I don't know. And how does his variant still know who everybody is? Yeah, a
Well,
multiverse hanger. Exactly, multiverse hanger.
I don't know. It's like
Nathan on point tonight. Thanks for coming by, man.
maybe it's not so much that it's like another variant of Loki as much as it is our Loki, just like time warp. Because remember that stick doesn't kill you; it sends you to the end of time. And
Right.
so maybe he does something at the end of time that he had to do in order to like.
Oh, so you're talking about another paradox, because they did bring up a
Yes,
paradox in here.
this is our
Because
Loki kind of
yes,
eating his own tail. Yeah, the same way that like apparently
Ouroboros
like
and the book.
Ouroboros learned from Victor, who learned from Ouroboros. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, dude, that's a great idea. That there is going to be another paradox.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Renslayer's there too because they like whammied Brad so that he would do that to her. So I'm guessing that's what we'll see next episode is our Loki who got
Oh, and Renslayer at
yeah
the end of
yeah, they're
time.
both going to meet up at the end of time. We'll see what happens.
Oh, that is a great thing. Last thing on this, Miss Minutes definitely needs to come to the Marvel Universe. Okay. Yeah, Nathan agrees. They are technically at the end of time, so that location in time will still
Well,
be there. Yeah, exactly.
it
Exactly.
specifically sends you to the part of the end of time where like all the Loki variants were hanging out, like Kid Loki and Old Loki.
Yes.
And
And you
Alligator
know we
Loki.
want to revisit that spot.
Oh,
You know what I
maybe
mean?
we'll
That
see
was a
Kid Loki again.
yeah, that was a high point of
Yeah.
season 1. You know we want to
Oh
go
yeah,
back.
that was my favorite episode from last season.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll probably meet up with Kid Loki and Gator Loki again, who I think are our surviving Lokis at this point.
Yeah, I think so too.
Old
But
Loki,
who
of
knows? There
course,
might
did
be
it.
others now.
We
They might introduce more
who
ones.
knows? Yeah,
we might actually get to see Frog Thor in action.
Oh yes. Yeah, I forgot about Throg.
maybe. I think that's better left as like a cute nod rather than have it be plot critical because
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that Frog Thor, unless it's like the show is supposed to be silly, I don't think you want to include Frog Thor.
Nathan in the chat wants to see a Gator Loki series. There is a comic book.
You could have Gator Loki team up with Frog Thor.
I think they have in the comic book. I think they have. So yeah, I think this is 6 episodes. So we got a couple more to go, and then we're gonna be all over it. All right, we're running late. Let's get
yummy.
Quick food news is remember when they used to put like actual people on the Wheaties boxes? Now they putting Spider-Man on Wheaties boxes. Yeah, you get free shit if you get the box, including a comic and a code.
I mean, honestly, that is a lot more aspirational. Like, eat your Wheaties and be like, Mark McGuire. Fuck that. Eat your Wheaties and be like Spider-Man.
Eat your Wheaties with your steroids.
And your radioactive spider venom, I guess.
Right. So, and now the actual food news. That was just one I had to put in there. Nathan and Chad, Gator Loki is about Makuya. Yeah. Right. So this is a revisit of probably the worst food news we've ever had. Taylor remembers the Kraft macaroni and cheese flavored French ice cream.
Get it out of here. Gross.
From Van Leeuwen. They have a new flavor this year, dill pickle.
Now, I would probably try that.
It's better than the mac and cheese one, but it's still gross.
It's disgusting.
I would probably, just because it's dill pickle, I would probably try that.
I don't mind dill pickles either, but you know what I would
a lot of these flavors are things that I don't mind, but they're just revolting when you turn them into ice cream.
I dip my French fries in this one. That might be good.
That's a thing now, apparently, putting ice cream on fries. I mean,
yeah.
I think I'm old enough now where I can start shaking my fist at these new trends.
If I can find this, I will try this.
This is available at Walmart locations nationwide starting October 23rd, $5 through December 26th, or while supplies last. Yeah,
I mean, I've had like pickle lemonade. So
that sounds.
Nathan said he had a single scoop of the ranch flavored ice cream and said it was nasty. Yeah, Andrew, they tried ranch. Andrew also in the chat saying they tried ranch. Yeah. They make great red velvet. Well, that's not. Red
All I know
velvet
about
cake is
Van
delicious,
Leeuwen
though.
is
It's
Red
like,
velvet is great.
like
yeah,
yeah,
it's
like
supposed
okay,
to
so
be sweet.
the only thing I know Van Leeuwen for these like fucking crimes against nature that they keep making.
Yeah,
But apparently
right.
they make like real good ice cream too. So I don't know
Yeah.
why the fuck they do this to themselves.
I don't
Well,
know
it's like
either, man.
Joan Soda comes out with like the turkey and
Thanksgiving
gravy flavor.
feast, yeah, and it's like
Jones
all the
Soda can go
flavors.
fuck itself too.
They do make some good stuff though.
They do make good stuff.
They
I don't
also
like
make
the
fucking
turkey
like
and
war
gravy.
crimes, like the fucking turkey soda.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
All right, let's
they
do-
had one Hatch chili, and it tastes like dirt smells.
Mm,
Well,
mm.
that sounds nasty.
Let's just
It
move
is
on.
nasty.
Yeah, let's do a moment. All right. Really quick here. We have more details, and maybe not quick. This might actually be pretty interesting sort of news. Yeah, pea soup and bacon.
Hey,
Man, they do not need anyone's help to come up with these revolting things. Just leave them to their own devices here, people.
All right, so the Energon universe, G.I. Joe, Transformers, they're going to have 2 series to start out of 4. Okay, the first one is going to be Duke, Joshua Williamson, Tom Riley, and Jordy Belair.
and the other one is Cobra Commander, right?
Yeah, we're going to get to that. We got the lineups for the starting teams here.
Yeah, we got
And
Baroness on the Joe side.
exactly. They got Baroness on.
And that's Duke, of course, and I think Heavy Duty there on the right.
That's
Stalker.
Stalker.
Oh, my bad.
And then
General
Colonel Hawk. Colonel Hawk.
Oh, Colonel Hawk.
Yeah. It's Colonel Hawk in here because he gets promoted once G.I. Joe gets up and running. And that's canon from other stuff where he was Colonel Hawk to begin with. But anyway, yeah, Baroness on this team, that's weird, dude. That's the big news.
The live action G.I. Joe movie, the Baronet, most of the Cobra operatives were like mind controlled, right?
Let's not speak of the G.I. Joe movies.
They kind of were.
Whatever.
Nathan talking about the Magmatron combiner figure. Yeah, dude, that looks sweet. I saw that this
pretty
week.
cool.
It does look cool.
They also have like the Stranger Things Transformers crossover one too.
Yeah, with the pizza surfer boy pizza truck. Yeah, that's rad. So yeah, Baroness debuting in the Duke series is really telling. But Mercer, I know this is Destro, obviously. Zorana, who is Zartan's sister. She also has a twin brother. Dreadnought, not an original Dreadnought, but one of the Dreadnoughts. Cobra Commander, of course. But that's Mercer in the back center. Most people will remember Mercer from.
He's from Slaughter's Marauders.
Well, no, they technically in the movie they
were
Renegades.
Yes, the Renegades.
The Renegades. They were not the Marauders until the comics, but yes, Slaughter's Renegades. But he left the Cobras. He was a Viper for Cobra. Left them and went and joined Sergeant Slaughter. So maybe we'll have like a switcheroo. You know, Baroness will fall in love with Destro, and Mercer will fall in love with Sergeant Slaughter, and that'll be it. That'll be it. Who could fall in love with Sergeant Slaughter? Yeah,
who could resist?
We did get a book this week. Void Rivals #5. Kirkman and De Felici. Our 2 aliens were captured last issue. We get some cool quintessons fucking with our Skulleroid here, whatever the hell their names are.
Are those motherfuckers from the '86 movie who like did like the little tribunal thing?
Yes, dude.
Okay.
It was a 5-bunal, pentabunal, because they're quintessons. They have 5 heads, 5 faces of death.
Man, you're lucky I recognize them at all. Don't you fucking quibble with me about the details.
I know. So this dude, if you remember, they went to the Zertonians, who was Celia, the female leads people. Now, she gets offered some weird deal, right? But this dude, they're torturing the shit out of him. But there seems to be some sort of, like, underground, like a resistance. And they free him, but he's all like, I ain't leaving without Solila. Solila. And they're like, wait, you don't really know who she is, do you? She appears to be more than meets the eye. I actually have that in my damn thing. Oh, dude, they were annoying episodes. The quintessons were only cool in the fucking movie. Only cool in the movie. So yeah, there's Void Rivals #5. Solid issue, but man, it is a slow fucking churn for this series. They are really milking the shit out of it. Hard to blame them. Things are moving forward. We are learning things, but we'll have more. I don't even think it's next week. I don't know when Transformers #2 comes out, but anyway, top 3. Let's do it. Man, it was a busy week.
I'm going to do all the honorable mentions here.
Yeah, dude. I'm just going to run through mine real quick.
Hear that,
Amazon-
Dave? We're name checking.
Oh
yeah,
boy.
I'm just name checking. Amazon's Attack was good. Wonder Woman 2 was terrific issue. King's a slow burn, but it was just wonderful pacing. Captain America #2 was solid. I don't know why Spidey had to show up, but it's cool. Predator versus Wolverine just as cool as you want it to be. Uncanny Avengers was good, but only because Captain America's speech in that shit was
Honestly,
Chef's
spoiler
kiss,
alert,
man.
that's my number one just because of that speech.
that. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. My true honorable mention though, Star Trek #13. Just because Harry Kim showed up. Admiral Janeway showed up too. But yeah, I love Harry Kim. He's hanging out with Tom Paris again. So man, anytime that's happening, I'm gonna be there for it. My number 3 this week is Dungeon. It's from the Dark Spaces anthology series. It's the first issue. Scott Snyder, Hayden Sherman. Basically, a family moves from the Big Apple to upstate New York. The dad finds a dungeon, right? Just finds it. This is what it looks like, right? If you're not in it, he calls the police. Now, this dungeon is can be configured to put you in all of these. This is what gave me nightmares, man. All these torturous positions, like it can make you, you know what I mean, and just keep you there. Just some sadistic fuck, man. Oh, that's crazy. But if you remember seeing this, tell anyone, and yours are next. He goes and tells somebody, right? He gets a cop involved, and the reason this cop in particular gets involved is because he was actually rescued from one of these dungeons when he was a child. Really well written by one of the best in the business, Scott Snyder. But man, it was great, dude. It was so fucking good. Again, it gave me nightmares. I fucking loved it. Taylor, honorable mentions.
Okay, rapid fire round. Honorable mention, Steelworks is still pretty fun. Green Lantern, Alan Scott Green Lantern, I should say, was pretty fun.
Oh man, I had a good time with that book too.
Yeah. I like Green Arrow a lot, especially the whole immediately just arrow through the fucking eye. I'm not fucking around. Just like you goofed.
I like this because I'd like to go back to fighting capitalism now. I love that shit so hard.
Love that book. Ms. Marvel, the New Mutant #3 had some really cool mental battles going on. That was a lot of fun.
Way out there with her fanfic thing.
I love that was such a great way to do inner turmoil, and it fucking manifested her mutant gene apparently because the Sentinel could recognize her at the end. So now we'll see what she can do, which I'm assuming is what she does in the live action show. But Captain America #2 was really fun. A little disappointing that Spider-Man was just kind of barely in this. It was a bit misleading on the cover, but it does. Steve Rogers was a hero before he got the super soldier serum.
Right.
I was really torn between Predator versus Wolverine, or Wonder Woman #2 for my number 3. Just for variety's sake, I guess I will say Predator versus Wolverine is my number 2. I really liked we're kind of getting back to our roots. It's a fucking spec op team versus the Predators in the jungle.
And it's pretty basic, but holy shit, is it drawn so
it's
well,
fun.
dude?
It didn't knock my socks off like that first issue did, but it's still a lot of fun. It's really cool.
And what about this callback Sabretooth and Jesse the Body fucking Ventura from the Predator movie? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just such a good callback. I literally went, when I turned the page,
this is still so much better than it needed to be, and that still shines through. So really great. But yeah, number 3 this week is going to be Wonder Woman #2. Just
so good.
The parallel stories that they tell here with her fighting in the arena and her fighting the military here. It's so well done. It is one of those things where they're like, Wonder Woman, you can't beat them. Of course she fucking can.
Yeah,
it's Wonder
dude,
Woman.
That's what I said the whole book, dude. Of course she can.
Why the fuck do you idiots think you stand a chance
tries
here?
To tell them too. I know we're gonna lose. She's gonna whip our asses, you dummy.
Yeah, and she fucking dunks on these motherfuckers. Oh, and I love the part where in the arena where you think oh no, she's in it now, or she gets stabbed with a sword, and she's and they're like, tell me your name. She's like, my name doesn't matter. All that matters is that I have 2 swords now.
2 swords now. Yeah. Tom King. This might be the best
so
thing he's done
fucking badass.
Yeah.
And watching Sergeant Steele over here, just he keeps getting emasculated by Wonder Woman, and that's really fun to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this has been amazing. This has been the most fun I've had with Wonder Woman probably since that Brian Azzarello run from a few years back.
Yeah.
But that was more of a slow burn, and it looks like this one is really ratcheting up the action away.
But the only thing that actually happened of importance in this is that we learned the name of the Amazonian who actually did the massacre, and we know that Diana knows her.
We did not advance the plot very much, except for that.
Advance shit.
But fuck
it
that.
was awesome,
Who cares?
Though.
This was
so
amazing.
Good.
Amazon, Wonder Woman over here, just guys, I understand you're in a hard position. I respect your bravery, but go the fuck away now, or I'm going to drop a tank on your head.
Yeah, and then she does it.
Yeah,
and then she does it. It's so good. Yeah.
So
King also does a lot of other things, like she fights with a rope and a tiara, and sometimes she holds a shield and a sword, and it's like, wow, he's really leaning into Wonder Woman being a really diverse sort of character in a way.
Yeah, Wonder Woman and comic characters in general, and probably especially Wonder Woman because she's been around for so long. There's so many interpretations of the character. There's so many ways to think about who she is, and I think King is trying to get underneath all that and what is the core of the character, and I think he's doing a very good job so far.
Yeah, agreed. Dave.
All right.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire honorable mentions.
All right. Rapid fire. Slow burn number 1.
Oh, I think I have that. I do not have that. Sorry. Oh, yes, I do. Here it is.
Yes.
It's okay because we're in rapid fire mode.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead.
The Prism number 1.
Yeah, I don't have that. Go ahead.
Prism. And then Alan Scott Green Lantern number 1.
Nice. Good shout out.
Fire round. My honorable mention this week is going to be Drive Like Hell.
Dude, fantastic book.
Yes, great book. This is what you're when you rob a bank and your girlfriend gets shot and killed and becomes possessed by the car that belongs to Satan.
Yeah,
that's story.
That's dude. Great action scenes in this.
This is Smokey and the Bandit. If Smokey was Satan.
Yeah, I had a great time with that too, man. That's a good call out.
All right, that's my only honorable mention this week. My number 3 book is going to be Giant Robot Hellboy.
Oh man, I totally forgot about that fucking book. Sorry, I don't have a cover for it. Damn.
I don't understand why. Mike Mignola isn't doing the writing. We got Duncan Figueredo on the artwork and Dave Stewart on the letter.
He's not doing it because he ain't got to.
Man, Mike Mignola made his bones. You don't have to do shit.
But exactly. this is in terms of Hellboy, this is actually kind of fun because Hellboy gets drugged and kidnapped, and then hooked into a machine to pilot a giant iron giant robot version of himself on a kaiju island while some other agent is investigating a lab that's been ransacked by mutant spiders. And Hellboy is just coming to grips with the fact that he's piloting a giant mech.
That's so good.
It was just
man, whatever excuse they needed to get us to have a fucking mech Hellboy, whatever.
Exactly.
I don't think they needed to drug and kidnap him. I think he would have done it for the
he'd be like, I'll do it. Awesome. I need to go back and read that. Anyway, coming back around to me, number 2. My number 2 is Universal Monsters Dracula number 1. James Tynion IV and Martin Simmons. It's basically your boilerplate Dracula story, but Martin Simmons.
This is the team that did the Department of Truth.
Yeah. On the art.
This is my number 1.
This is
Look
breathtaking.
At that shit. And that's just the 2 pages I decided to grab, dude.
Yeah, this is my number 1.
Oh, man. And again, the opener is pretty boilerplate for your Dracula. You got your Renfield, you got your doctor, you got your
it's fucking Dracula.
It's pretty much Bram Stoker's Dracula, but it's fantastically drawn.
It's just
art-wise, it's beautiful.
Oh.
And the minimum use of Dracula in this first issue.
Yeah, Dracula's got no dialogue at all. He just shows up while Renfield's talking about
if you're going the true Bram Stoker, Dracula's barely in that book until he is,
Yeah. Dude, look at how the red is wolves in the back. Oh, it's just, the whole book is like that, dude. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Just fucking beautiful.
Yeah, even if you're just getting this for an art book, chef's kiss.
Well, James Tynion might pull it around, but I really think he made a good choice just making
I'm not trying to knock. I'm just saying, any good writing here is just kind of the cherry on top, because you can get this book just for the art and you'll still be, money well spent.
Oh, it was just gorgeous. All right, Taylor, I think you mentioned your number 2, but
that's my number 1. My number 2 is the Immortal Thor, number 3.
Oh, it was good.
Man, I fucking love this fucking lore driven, let's do some fucking high mythology. Let's make this a fucking saga. Thor like gathering his weapons, Thor like in the wilderness solving the riddles. Reads like a myth. This reads like a story from like real Norse mythology in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I love this idea of like Thor like kind of tied in with like the mysticism and the runes, and just he has to overcome this challenge, and he's naming his weapons, and just I fucking love this shit.
Yeah. They're just doing an amazing job. Al Ewing, we knew was going to do a good job, but who is it on the art on this again?
It is Martin Coccolo.
Yeah, Martin Coccolo is just getting in just some amazing panels. I mean, there's not really anything big.
There's there's nothing for Thor to hit in this book, but just like just him losing his shit and like fucking turning a field of like into glass with his lightning. That's like, yeah, it's beautiful to see. Even the fucking like hairs on his beard are impressively drawn.
I know, man. Yeah. Fantastic book. I'm hoping the first arc, finishes off strong, and then we start running. If you remember, Immortal Hulk did the same thing. First arc was it was great, but it wasn't as great as things got after the first arc.
That first arc of Immortal Hulk was just kind of like a bunch of little self-contained like horror vignettes.
Yes.
And like, this is definitely setting up for a bigger conflict. I'm assuming this arc ends with him confronting Toranos.
Yeah.
But he's off to recruit Storm next time, and I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I can't wait. Dave, number 2.
My number 2 pick this week is Gone number 1.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't get this either. Damn. I feel terrible. Sorry.
Don't worry, you ass.
I'm sorry. I didn't read it either.
Oh man. This book right here kind of skips the first issue syndrome, I think.
Okay.
It is a great world building, fantastic art, and it's well paced.
Okay.
The
really all you need.
It's the story of people living on a colony world that's kind of like a shanty town that's kind of close to a space dock.
Okay.
And people make a routine. These people in the shanty town will go and rob the ships of their cargo for food and stuff.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And something the largest space liner to date lands there on its maiden voyage, and the group decides to rob it, but in amongst the group is a bunch of saboteurs that start setting off bombs on the ship. Okay. And the ship is forced to take off, and one of the children, a girl named Abby, who was there to get food, is stuck on the ship with the saboteurs.
Oh, okay.
So she's kind of living like Newt did in the Terraformers and Alien, where she's crawling around the ductwork and everything.
Right.
She can see like the passengers and stuff, and this crew is doing everything and they can to find this girl and these other saboteurs that are still on the ship. And eventually the saboteurs set off a large enough bomb to endanger the passengers.
Oh, so this is a giant ship.
This is a huge ship.
Okay. Cool.
So
that's Jock doing both the writing and the art there. So.
Yes, it is fantastic. Cool. And it is a great first offering from Distillery.
Nice. That's back around to me. Number 1, my number 1 this week was Alan Scott, the Green Lantern number 1. Tim Sheridan and Cian Torment. This was fucking fantastic. I usually don't care for these throwback style books, and this throws way back to the 30s and 40s. But diving into Scott's love life and his career outside the JSA and being a Green Lantern just worked so well alongside telling the story as he's a hero dealing with other sorts of problems.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? This almost felt really grounded.
Yeah,
the Edgar Hoover angle on this was probably perfect, spot on.
Dude. That was really good. In general, I like the kind of like parallel stories they were telling between like not a big time gap, but like I'm assuming like 5 years or something.
It's 4 or 5 years, yeah.
Between his time at the army and his like quote unquote present day as the Green Lantern,
Yeah, I had a great time with this, dude. It just felt real, authentic, even a little bit personal maybe to the creators. But yeah, I had a wonderful time with this.
That last page really threw me for a loop. I wasn't getting like unreliable narrator vibes, but like, although I don't know that he's in an insane asylum.
He's in Arkham.
Well, what they might be
that's
doing.
An insane asylum.
Well, it is, but like, I think
uniform said Arkham.
What I mean is, I don't know that he's like insane. What I assume is happening is like he got found out as being homosexual, and back then they would do like chemical neutering and shit like that.
That is what I am thinking is happening.
The tease for the next issue says conversion.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. This
Like
book
if you
is
think conversion therapy is bad today, you're right. But
Yeah.
it was fucking insane like
Yeah.
50 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm expecting this next issue to be just crazy like that, and this leaning into it, man. This book was like a roller coaster. You know, it was just it was a lot of fun. I had a fan. I was very surprised that
It
I
was
liked it as
relatively
much as I did.
recently that they established Alan Scott as a gay character, and this is, as
Yeah.
far as I'm aware, the first book to kind of make that a central pillar of the story. you
Yeah,
know?
the first solo book. He's had some like spots in the Pride book and stuff like that
Yeah.
where they were talking on that. So cool. All right, I think we know the last two. But Taylor, number one book of the week.
My number one was Uncanny Avengers, just because of that.
Cap's dope speech.
Yes, like this, like weirdly enough, this was even though the Captain America book, which I do like, came out this week, this was the best Captain America moment from this
They
week.
mentioned
because,
Madison Square Garden and Nazis in that issue too, so I cannot fucking wait till issue 3.
Yeah. I mean, I do love that book, but here we have, this is quintessential Captain America. And I was so worried as I was reading this that they were like going to play it hyper cynical, but no, they play it straight, they play it sincere, where like you can reach people. And, maybe that's just true in this fictional universe, but he manages to touch. Maybe he doesn't win over everybody in that crowd, but he wins over a few.
You can tell by the faces here, by the art here, that he doesn't win everybody over.
Yeah, but he does reach some. He is making a difference, and that is great to see. And especially because like this book is, all about mistrust. It's about trying to rebuild a bridge that has been torn down by Orcus, and just Captain America showing why he's on the fucking team, why he is the guy for the job.
Yeah. Even the reveal where Kingpin's gonna spill his beans to Ben Ulrich is
hell yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah, I love that.
And also the stuff with Quicksilver and Monet was really good. Like I really enjoyed.
It was kind of out of the blue, but
like the fight itself was also really cool. Where they just kind of are just clowning on the are they the Strucker twins? I always forget.
I think there's some twins. They got to hold hands to use their powers. It's
they're
fucking
like
weird.
Wolf something,
so stupid,
whatever the fuck they're called. But yeah,
so stupid.
It's an interesting gimmick, but like, they stood no chance against these two, and it was kind of cool to see.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, excellent choice. Dave, that leads it back to you, buddy.
It is Dracula, number 1.
Just because of that amazing
fantastic art. If you like Department of Truth, you're gonna love this book.
And just because of the art, you don't have to be a Dracula fan at all.
But this is
Dracula barely isn't even in this.
Bram Stoker Dracula, but the art is so fantastic in this. That alone is the reason to get this.
I feel like they can take advantage of the fact you fucking know who Dracula is.
Yeah,
sure.
Sure.
And I think that's a good thing to say, because I think Tynion has really kind of done that. You know, he's understood. Man, people know who Dracula is. They really don't need me here to guide them through a story. What they need is something cool to look at. When Image Comic asked him if he wanted to do it, he was like, "Yeah, and I know the perfect artist because I don't have to do shit. Martin Simmons can do all the heavy lifting." And oh my gosh, is he doing it? Just beautiful, beautiful stuff, dude. Just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And because it's Image Comics, even though it's a licensed Image Comics book, I bet you we don't get the flip-flop fill-in artists like Marvel and DC do, every 4th or 5th book. I bet we get that Simmons art.
This is one that
every time.
This is one that I'll be getting in trade when it eventually comes out there, but I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Good choice, dude. Like, I mean, look at this. I can't stop staring at how awesome this shit is. It was gorgeous, fantastic. Dude. It's just gorgeous. Awesome. All right, well, that's it for us, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. We really appreciate it. If you like what we're doing, also check out the Bullies. Leroy and Eli do a pop culture show every Sunday on these channels and more. If you want links to everything they got going on and everything we got going on, go to outrightgeekery.com. All the audios, all the videos, all the socials, everything you need to hang out with us, including the group. No bullying at the group. Go to facebook.com and search for Outright Geekery, or go to the outrightgeekery.com, hit the link. Go over there. Andy's always running things with an iron fist. No, he's not. He's having a great time, and so will you if you come over there and hang out. Come back tomorrow night, same time, 7 o'clock. We're going to be doing 7 Central. We're going to be doing our preview show. Dave will not be here.
Actually,
Taylor and
I will be here.
Oh, surprise,
what
surprise.
What the hell?
What happened?
Taking vacation. So I'll
do
be
it, bro. Just for us, man. Thank you, Dave.
You're
Thank
welcome.
But yeah, we're gonna be talking about all the new
Not a
books
waste of
coming
your
out next
vacation
week.
day, though.
It's
Yeah.
all right.
Oh,
I got
it's just
enough.
an hour of waste. It's just an hour.
I got 6 days to burn.
I mean, I would
Nice.
never take PTO to spend time with Gomer.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, I can't blame either. My wife don't even
I'm
do that.
taking PTO not only to spend with Gomer, but to also hang out and do stuff on Halloween and a couple of days after.
Okay.
Nice.
So it's not a wasted. It's not
Nice.
wasted.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
Don't ever waste any resource on Gomer.
Yeah, don't. But definitely come back tomorrow. A lot of good books coming out. We're going to talk about all of them. Again, thanks for hanging out, everybody. But most of all, thanks to these guys for hanging out with this guy.
Always
yeah.
fun.
And we're going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
Man, I rolled up.
Yeah, that was a blending that I think we normally get.